So we're here today with Al Clark, who is the brains behind all of the wonderful Driftworks videos. And you've done a couple of small other cars, something about Bugatti?
Bugatti, yeah.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah, that's the other half of the job.
Is that a P1?
It's P1. P1.
Bugatti P1, yes.
Yeah.
Guys, just so we're clear, that's why I'm here, because this guy's a bit of a spaz, and Al, by I'm sure his own admission, technically, yeah.
So we're here, a lot of people know this car from the previous owner, Brother Paz, and you bought it. So when you came back to Driftworks, because you had a little bit of a hiatus,
4-year hiatus from Driftworks.
so you've come back and you wanted to get back into drifting after coming to one of the Rocking days, didn't you?
Yep.
So you were looking at other cars to buy. I wanted you to buy my yellow S15.
Yeah, the options are numerous, and your yellow S15 briefly sort of tickled the market.
Yeah, I was so close to getting rid of it.
Everyone said it's too nice to drift, and I didn't understand that, but I sort of think it was the wrong car to buy.
Yeah. And then you also looked at big barges.
I've got, yeah, I get a massive urge for those huge, gigantic
big barges.
JZX 100.
JZX 100s and
Aristos.
yeah, just I nearly bought an Aristo from Japan. I don't know, about 6-7 years ago when we did Toga Heroes, if anyone remembers that project.
Yeah, responsible for Toga Heroes.
As well, yeah. And Outsiders. We actually forgot.
Responsible for Outsiders.
Yeah. The Aristo was like one of my favourite cars, and I just wanted a 6-speed, single turbo.
161, the one with the twin.
Yeah.
So the next closest thing you can get to that is a 1986 Corolla.
But there is a reason for this as well, because actually, like, all the big cars are awesome because I wanted to sort of go out and twin with Phil and twin with everyone else, and they're perfect for getting in, throwing a skid and
solar power to 7.
Loads of smoke and kind of stuff like that, and they're easy to keep road legal because you can keep full interiors and whatever. It's great.
But one of the important things to mention is that you don't really come from drifting. You come from the track world.
Yeah, the track world.
So you have had a drift car. I remember your yellow PS30.
It wasn't a drift car.
It wasn't really a drift car. It was really a track car, just with a bit of steering lock.
Oh, okay.
So it had just some chop knuckles that Julian modified in Garage D. But I used to go to the Nürburgring like 6 or 7 times a year, sometimes more.
How many laps have you done?
At the moment, 1,500.
Most of them were in an MX-5.
Most of them were in an MX-5. It was the best possible thing you could learn to drive fast, because it just taught you momentum and not being afraid of going in as fast as the car could go. That really got me into that mindset of small, unpowerful, lightweight cars that you just have to like drive the shit out of. Then I bought the Silvia. Something about that just didn't work for me, and then I got E86 M3. Just stronger, and parts availability was a big thing at Nürburgring. You know, if anything on a Nissan Silvia or a PS13 popped.
Peter Gowrie in another country.
Peter Gowrie in Belgium at Portello Garage was the nearest you could get, so that was always a disaster for me.
So how did you two get on this year with your DN days?
Absolute rubbish.
Yeah. So that's hang on a minute.
Yeah.
So mine's sat here, looking very sorry for itself. And and where's yours, Al?
In a similar state.
Basically, we became very, very busy this year, unfortunately, and we didn't get out to any of the DN days, which is a real shame. Yeah. However, Al's about to go to the Nürburgring to film, as he often does. Next week, is it?
Next week, yeah.
And I might join him as well.
Yeah, you might see we'll put a thing about that. We can't talk about it right now. But I don't know when. But it's it's going to be good.
Yeah.
So anyway, sold the E46, got a GT3, more high revving, not very powerful, but very powerful. Like not like 600-700 horsepower, like 911 turbo sort of thing. But still, you got to wring the car's neck. And that whole thing, that whole driving a naturally aspirated peaky engine in a lightweight-ish car was totally what I love. And if I can't have the big, I just couldn't find a big sort of boaty car that I wanted. And then this kind of came up, or the option came up off market to buy this. Bought this from Paz, who
There was a build thread on this car as well, if you do want to see some of the background prior to you buying this. So that's and he's really good. He's good photos, good technical details as well. And it's not his first Corolla either, is it?
This is not his first Corolla. I believe this is his.
I think 5th, isn't it?
I think 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
But what Paz keeps doing is building the same car over and over again, but refining the formula. He keeps going like, well, if I'd started again, I'd do that. If I started again, I'd do that. I'd do that. I'd do that. That's what it seems to happen.
Yeah.
He, I mean, he put an S2000 engine in one, which was quite a famous competition car in the UK.
Hated it.
Hated it. Wanted to go back to. So it should have always been 4AGE variant of some sort in its entire life, and that's it. And this car as well has been through quite a few iterations. It started off a bit more stylist based, with a bit more that had like, you know, had a posh bumper on it.
I can't remember what it looked like.
It looked like this. Which
Very
is
good.
a little different to now.
Yeah.
So the first and most obvious changes, we may as well start from the side because these are really obvious, is the wheels. Is the thing that everyone always says first. So I think you guys supplied a 15-inch.
So we originally had, I say originally, at one point he had S1 two-piece on, which were same colour combination, but a bit of a dish and a bit of a. Yeah. But he thought they were too modern for the car.
Yeah, I totally agree with him that even though these are a relatively modern wheel, the look of those was. I didn't get on with the look of it actually. I think it would have worked with a kit and lower offset and you know, a lower car. But Paz is very clear on how a car should look, and it's partly to do with how it drives as well.
When he decided that the way to improve the car to how he wanted to drive it and how a lot of the other drivers are driving it, it was to literally just go on a mission of weight, do take out, you know, everything that didn't need to be on the car, and that included downsizing the wheel and tyre package to these. These are 14s. These are the Rays Engineering Volt T37s, which is the greatest fanboy wheel in the world. But these are a purpose. These are as light as you can pretty much get. They perfectly suit the car. They're a 14x7 ET0, I think. There's a space.
Sounds about well known. Are these still available?
No, these are discontinued.
Oh, okay.
So, like, if you have any sets or see any sets, let us know. I mean, if you pick them up there, you know, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Still try and run a good tyre on the back though. When I first went out, I was on Bridgestone RE11As, which are a Japanese-only sort of track tyre. And they had loads of grip, and we were thinking when we said like, oh, we need to get some more spare tyres, because this does a pair of tyres every day and a half or something.
Yeah.
It's crazy, you know, compared to Phil's, which does it every lap and a half. You know, we were lowering pressures, and we're still, you know, it's a myth that you want to run a high pressure in a Corolla. I'm running 30, like, flat on this, and then it goes up to 35 hot, and that's it.
Let me take this.
I mean, I know the bits on it. I know the bits on it. But we can open it. So
These open the bonnet.
these open the bonnet, and this is where the fuel's kept.
Where the bangs happen.
This is where the banging happens. Now this is the noisiest 4-pot I've heard, and it's incredible. It's a blacktop 20 valve. So the standard car comes with a 16 valve 4AGE. It's the number of cylinders.
This is what a real one looks like.
This is a proper one. These are
That's
original.
one of Brother Betty's old heads.
It is, yeah.
Who's that? Brother Betty?
He goes absolutely mental with Corollas and 4AGs. So
Thank God for him.
Yeah,
because we can buy his dirty afterwards. And
yeah,
that's the best way to do it. But
ITBs.
Yep, stock ITBs, but all again port match and everything like that. It's running Toda, pretty much everything. Toda springs, valves, cams. It's producing about 189 horsepower, 190 horsepower at 9,200 RPM.
And it can go a bit higher. It could go a bit higher in RPM if you wanted to, but there is sort of a limit and a reliability.
It's limited to 9 at the moment, just to not go mental with it because it'll just, I mean, it does work and you just go faster and it's all awesome. But I mean, really, it's all, you know, again, like all seam welded, everything that didn't need to be in here has been all cut away.
So is this all stuff that Paz has done?
Yeah, you know, it's really just absolutely anything that's not necessary. All the basics are there, and that's it. And it's as lightweight and straightforward as possible. Mirrors, not sure, don't know, not too sure about those.
I didn't know that.
They look like.
Why don't we have those on the S15 on our? Well, why don't we have Ganador?
We've got racing mirrors on the 86.
Racing.
Well, we used to have racing mirrors.
Oh yeah, we did a new one. We kind of smashed it off.
But why do you not like those mirrors?
No, they're fine actually.
Can you just not get them?
I mean, they're more aesthetic than useful.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have a rear view mirror because why would you need one?
Yeah.
It's TRD shocks all around, Swift springs. It's got, I think, Heyman knuckles. So that's the thing. I don't know whether they're called Heyman knuckles or it's Heyman knuckles because it's from Paz. It could be from anyone. The back end is Cusco anti-roll bar M factory diff 5.3 ratio, I think, which is a lot. And then inside the boots, you have
the boot,
30-litre fuel tank and absolutely nothing else.
You got gas struts there.
Oh yeah, gas strut. Only because Paz again has some sense, and if this doesn't hold itself up, he's like banging his head every time you do that. Custom floor, all seam welded all the way through with this whatever paint gold this is. Cusco cage.
Is that bolt-in or welding too?
That's a bolt-in, but you know, could be welded. It's had some additional welding added to it for strength, but
there are many
tons of
authentically Japanese choices on this car, aren't there? And it's the look of it as well. There's a particular car that you'll see time and time again in Japanese videos with Noriaro and anything like this. And I literally go, "How's his car?"
Yeah.
He is respectful to the Japanese way, unlike mine. Sitting in there at the moment. I'm kind of respectful, but
I mean,
you kept the roof.
love this.
The thing is though, with our Corolla, when we, the Royal, we were designing it, you wanted to make it look like the side profile, still look like the Corolla.
Yeah, that silhouette's really important.
But we park these next to each other quite a lot, and this is actually sits quite a fair bit higher than my car with 18.
Yeah,
quite impressive.
And obviously,
I mean, your wheels go up to there, don't they? You know, when
but that is the thing. Like, we've made the overmarket fenders.
The overmarket fenders, that's what we've been making. It's a new
the after overmarket.
But you kept this line in our fenders.
Yeah.
So these are all.
It's as faithful as you can take a competition level drift car. Yeah, so it's fully plastic. I mean, the exhaust system is a Tomei Supreme system. That's 4 kilograms titanium front to back.
Which is basically nothing.
Nothing.
And it's got one of these as well.
It's got a handle.
Yep, these are quite handy. And inside that is the ultimate noisemaker. It's a Quaife gearbox.
It is a full-on Quaife Type 9. It's a Ford gearbox.
Yeah.
Straight cut?
Yeah, straight cut, but with synchros.
Makes a god-awful row.
Yeah, it's not as whiny as it could be. Because the engine overpowers everything else.
I was originally thinking that when he bought this car that he'd be driving to events.
Yeah,
I mean, I've got noise cancelling.
0.
No, but it's not very legal at the moment, is it?
Yeah, it's not very legal. But that's the reason, not because it's horrible.
Oh yeah, it's pretty loud.
Yeah,
it is pretty loud, but it's just not.
Have we got a hydro?
No.
But how do you drift that hydro?
Well, this is what I've been learning, and this is why I love this car so much. As I learned in Matsuri, that following people in who go somewhere and then just pull the hydro to slow down, and then like wobble into a corner and hit the power and everything, and all this mangying going on drives you nuts.
Fucking mangying!
It's so annoying because this car has no option other than to do 1,000,000 miles an hour, and it's not the fact that down the straight you've got to pick up the speed. It's that when we get to the corner, we've got no power to keep it over, and we can't like hang it out like a powerful car can, because you're on the edge of gripping all the time. So just like anyone who's like managing in the way, and like a number of aborted runs from just slow cars in front with twice the horsepower, 3 times the horsepower is driving mental. It's not drifting. Stop it. Paz is very keen. Like Paz has always been the propagator of really kind of correct ways of drifting, and whether it's in an S13 or whatever, You know, like that famous video back when YouTube was quite new, and you just typed in drifting into YouTube, and that video of Quaife in his Corolla, that manic driving right up to the wall and out. I mean,
but that was managing, but that's different.
But if you look at that and compare that to this thing, it's just a totally different.
So we're contradicting ourselves slightly there.
We are a little bit, but the style of driving was
it's absolutely as fast as you can humanly get.
Yeah, I had such a smile on my face for 2 days. I went home with a massive headache, just like jaws aching and stuff like that, just from shouting.
Which is what drifting's all about.
Yeah, that's it.
So I think that wraps up.
I think that does.
A waffle around your car.
It's a nice waffle. Yeah, exactly. Keep drifting fast.
Yep.
Maybe that's the new thing.
Keep drifting fast.
Keep drifting fast.
Not fast, fast.
Fast. Queen would say fast.
Correct, people say.
Okay. Bye. Thanks very much, everyone.
So remember, what do you have to remember if you're on YouTube?
You need to like regardless whether you hated it or not. Subscribing's good. Is that it? That's all they have to do?
Do share.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is great. And what about if people want to ask you questions? How could one do that?
Oh, well, using the internet comment box.
Internet comment box. Fantastic. High five.
Deja vu, I just been in this place.